Namaste. Namaste, one and all. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I am Bankim Shukla, welcoming you all in International Yoga Festival, an initiative by Dr. Vikas Chauthe and Dr. Swetambari Chauthe in celebration of 75 years of India's independence. In this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. IST, where renowned yoga and spiritual personalities share their experience and wisdom, and also emerging young leaders of tomorrow's India and the world express their views. Today, we are honored and privileged to have Suchitra Pareekh among us. Thank you so much. Suchitra is a very senior sadhaka of the Yoga Institute. She is a very fond disciple of Dr. Jaideva and Hansaji, and a very popular name in the world of Sankhya study, one of the most important pillars of Indian philosophy. She is also an author, transformation coach, educationist, and practitioner of Sankhya Yoga, emotional freedom technique, popularly known as EFT, and VCT, vrutti changing technique, by designing a special workshop to teach to all yoga practitioners. VCT has made Yama Niyama, the first two steps of yoga, easy to practice at a deeper level. Many have experienced paradigm shift in using VCT. She is also an expert in teaching TAT and Ho'oponopono. Thank you so much. I heard this word for the first time and I just Googled it, but great. Thank you so much. Many of the publications, including all of 4 encyclopedias of YTI, have the imprint of her expertise. She is a knowledge seeker, a teacher by studying, practicing, and interacting. And whatever she learns, once she experiences the benefits, she teaches by sharing her knowledge with her students. Dr. Jaideva, an authority of Sankhya, chose Suchitra to carry forward the tradition of teaching Sankhya at YTI with the ultimate aim of understanding one's own self. She is currently teaching Sankhya philosophy, which is the why of yoga, to 2 years TTC students of YTI. She has authored 2 books. One is Practical Sankhya, the ultimate solution to pain, and the other one is Back to Basics with new yoga technique. Suchitra Pareekh, the only international yoga expert for certification of yoga schools by Ministry of Ayush, Government of India from 2016 to 2018. In 2015, when QCI started the yoga exams, Suchitra Pareekh was one of the only 2 yoga consultants to Ayush QCI to appoint and train yoga examiners. Her yoga journey started in 1986 when she completed the 7-month TTC from YTI. Since then, she has been teaching in various TTC programs and contributed to many research projects, books, and magazines published by the Yoga Institute. Her contribution to WHO's project on yoga for health for children and QCI scheme for yoga school accreditation is greatly valued. As a teacher, she taught maths, science, and biology for 18 years and retired as a school principal in 2016. She is an environmentalist, spreading awareness among children and elders about nature and its balance. She is an author, keynote speaker, teacher, trainer, coach, doing personal counseling and group work. Currently, she is setting up her own academy online to provide digital learning in Sankhya and yoga based on her books and more. Her specialty is creating learning environment for sharing self-awareness and inner core transformation as a vrutti coach. Suchitra we are truly blessed and excited to have you with us today to introduce this intriguing topic called a novel approach to Sankhya from a vrutti coach. A very warm welcome to you, and we hand over the session to you. It's all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful and elaborate introduction. Very kind of you. Namaste to everyone. You will do the prayer. Bankim ji, are you doing the prayer? Yeah, please.
Bankim ji, can you unmute yourself?
Hold your palms. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. Gently rub your palms, cover your eyes, feel the warmth. Slowly open the gap between your fingers. Feel the warmth all over. Thank you. Thank you, Suchitra ji. Yeah, it's all yours.
Yeah. Okay, I will be able to share when it comes to, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Fine, thank you. Fine. I do not want to share immediately. I first want to just give a little background to what I'm going to talk, though I have put that in the slide, but it will be nice to talk first about it. Sankhya, as is the topic for today, and a novel approach to studying and learning Sankhya. Sankhya is, as it is a lesser known and not very popular a subject as yoga is. Thanks to all the international efforts, yoga, at least the word, has become extremely popular and acceptable even to us Indians. Yeah, we accept only when it becomes worldwide. So fine, that mentality, when we will change, we will change. So far it is like that. And Sankhya has not traveled that route as yet, I think. But with efforts like Vikas ji is making, going global with these talks and inviting me to speak on my most heartfelt favorite subject matter, I think you are making an effort in that direction so that it also become as much popular. The popularity has its own good and the bad. Like yoga, as it became popular, वो योगा हो गया, योग नहीं रहा, योग नहीं रहा, योगा हो गया. ठीक है. और what also has happened is that only asana and pranayam has taken precedence. But those who go a little deeper and really want to understand, when they come across Patanjali defining yoga chitta vritti nirodha, then people do start asking, ye chitta vritti kya hai? So when that question comes, people are turning towards Sankhya. Samkhya and Sankhya. Now that is of course another question, but I don't think we'll get into that just now. So bear with me if you do not like Sankhya or you do not like Samkhya. I choose to pronounce it as Sankhya. So take it for the time being. And this, before I start showing my slides to you, I do want to say one thing, that Sankhya is like why of yoga, and yoga is the how of Sankhya. In other words, the two are complementary philosophies of the 6 Indian philosophies, the Astic Darshan. In fact, all the Astic Darshans are always talked of in pair, and Sankhya Yoga is the rightful pair. So the why, if initially you don't need to know the why, like you don't need to know why does the fan turn when you switch on the light, that button. You just have to know that to use the fan, you need to switch that button on. So it's perfectly all right for a beginner to start learning yoga the way yoga is. It's okay to start with asana. It's okay to start with pranayam or whatever suits you. Some people start straight with meditation. It's okay. When you get into that, it is important to realize that why we are doing this. When that question starts coming, it's exactly like how children learn. Baby steps. They don't question at that time, why is this called a ball and why is that called a bat, right? So they just say, oh, I agree. This is ball, this is bat, this is ma, this is pa, everything agreed. But as they evolve, as they grow, they start asking, why this and why not this? And I really, really, really want the entire yoga faculty, yoga aspirants to start asking these why. And sincerely want to search this why. And obviously, there'll be lesser and lesser number to grow up to why. I'm fine. But these are the ones who will really, really contribute to yoga appropriately. So I want to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who is attending this session. And please, please, please do keep up your spirit and ask me your questions. I would really, really love to answer. If there are any doubts that I can clarify as to why any yoga aspirant must also study Sankhya alongside. With that, I want to begin. If anyone wants to say anything, please feel free to put in the chat. I will try in between to keep looking at the chat. If there is anything appropriate that I need to include in while I'm talking to you, I will do the needful. Okay. And of course, your views and opinions also matter a lot. So please do feel like sharing whatever, go ahead. Okay. I will now share my slides to begin. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, madam.
I'll make it a slideshow. So, yes, what is novel in this approach to study of Sankhya? For those who are new to Sankhya, it is not novel. Please, I will be very happy to write on a clean slate. Novel is for those who already know a little bit of Sankhya. And for those who have not really got into study of Sankhya, take it that this is the approach to Sankhya. I'll be really thrilled to write on blank slate. Okay. And a big thank you to Swasti Yoga Center and Vikas, along with, yes, I can see your wife sitting along with you, right? Is that? Yes, thank you. Nice to see you. So thank you both for making this possible. Thank you very much. Can't start Sankhya session without recalling and paying our respects to Maharshi Kapila, the propounder of Sankhya. Just like you can't talk of Yoga Sutra without Patanjali. And my gurus, my preceptor from whom I learned Sankhya and Yoga, Dr. Jaydev, was a living Sankhya yogi. He lived his life as per Sankhya Yoga. And now Hansaji is looking after the working of the Yoga Institute, where I belong and have my second home. So Dr. Jaydev's life was the one that taught us Sankhya, you can say. Now, those of you who have heard of these words, any of these words, even if you have not known Sankhya, you are somewhat aware of Sankhya. Gunas, I don't think there's anybody in India who would not have heard of Sattvic and Tamasic and Rajasic. In our day-to-day language, we refer to things undesirable as ye Tamasic hai, and this is very Sattvic. In a very common day-to-day language, we've used it. So you know how deep-rooted actually Sankhya is in our system, but we are ignoring it. Okay. Another, those who have studied a little bit of Sankhya and Yoga Sutra would have come across the word like Purusha and Prakriti, evolutes and evolvent. They will know what is changeful, unchangeful. Those who've gone a little bit more into it would have also known Tritapa, Satkaryavad, Bhog and Apvarga. Panchabhutas also are as nearly as common or little less common than the Trigunas. Bhutas karte rehte hain hum, और कभी वो भूत हो जाता है, वो ठीक है, that's different. But I know very few who will know buddhi. In a common day-to-day language we use it, but okay, buddhi is at least known. But bhava also, we hear it, we use it, though the word we use buddhi and the bhava in the manner we use is not exactly what is really meant. We can begin from there. So if any of these words and some other, I just picked up randomly some, you have heard, so you are not absolutely new to Sankhya, okay? No, that is what I meant to say. And if you're using these words, Satkaryavad is another one. If you are using these words in your day-to-day language in any form, know it, there is some local mein bolungi, no, some seed of Sankhya in you, which needs to be nurtured and worked at. We know that the ancient system of teaching was Gurukul-like, where there was no structure. The structure was decided by the teacher, and teacher would decide the structure as per the student. One example we very clearly have of Krishna and Balram going to Sandipani Guru and finishing to learn everything possible, probably in some 16 days or 16 months, I forget the number. And there were so many other students like Sudama himself, who was there for years and years and learning and trying to study. So because the teaching, the instruction were dependent upon the individual progress of the student, correct? So it was that much individualized, subjective. And anybody who was capable of gaining more knowledge could just take it. And there would be, even in a general class, each student picks up differently. We know that even today. And the thing has shifted so much today that it has become individual in this manner. Each one their own, and कोई सीख रहा है, नहीं सीख रहा है, कोई ज्यादा किसी को पड़ी नहीं है, हाँ, उसमें भी सीख रहे हैं. In that also people are learning. So what I want to bring out here is that the desire to learn is primary in learning. So in approach of teaching and learning Sankhya, what is important is, just like in yoga, the self. So whatever mode of learning we are using, it is not obstructing our way of learning. It is our desire for learning will find its own way, is what I want to say. So let us not put the blame on the outside. We were not ever exposed to it and therefore we are not sorry. If we want to, we can learn from anywhere, anytime. What happened with this novel approach, how it has happened, is that as Bankimji mentioned, that yes, I got this opportunity of teaching Sankhya in the teacher's training course at the Yoga Institute. When I was teaching the way my preceptor, Dr. Jaydev, initiated me into it, I was really going with the flow. And what I was trying was, say, a concept like Triguna. I would tell them, look for the characteristics of Sattva in you. You know, having given them the characteristics, I would ask them to look for it and know it that this is Sattva. Look for these characteristics and you know that this is Rajas. Look for this, you know. So I would give them this. And very often people would think that they understand, but when they actually sat down to do the practice, they probably were not able to do. So say it's very difficult to follow what you're saying, though in the class we all feel we know it. Okay. And then a lot of students wanted to look for these kind of awareness exercise. Now this became an awareness exercise that you have to look for it in yourself or around you, you and your surroundings. So a lot of people are externally oriented. They can't start looking into themselves. Doesn't matter, I said. Start by looking at your surroundings. And soon you'll start recognizing in yourself also. Fine. They would want to refer to some books, get some more words, jargon, etc. So where are these exercises that you're giving us? Where can we find them? And some of them complained. Okay, it sounds so simple. It is so easy. Okay, just look for these characteristics. Rajas, you just look for either aggression, reaction, behavior. But then this is so simple things to do. How do you find these? Where is it? Which book are you referring to? Those who were able to do, like the classes that the Yoga Institute are now always more than 100 students in a class. And there will always be a handful of them who would do the exercise and they'll say, very effective. Suddenly one person says that I was grappling with one problem for so long, having to understand the three gunas in me, I am able to solve my issue. I shifted. When I saw it was Rajas, I shifted to Sattva. When I saw I was being tamasic, I shifted myself to action and things happened. I said, wow, beautiful. So the others in the class will say, wow, so we also must do it. What I want to say is that there is a little push that one requires. Initially, it may seem like an uphill task, but just do it. Just do it. Do it. The fear of failure or abhinivesh as one of the klesha which does not allow you to do it. I know of some students who want to teach later on in the classes and they don't want to teach Sankhya. They say, no, you think of the exercises so easily because whatever exercise I may have given, like it goes on in a cyclic manner. No, one course gets over and the next starts. The Yoga Institute, it's a cyclic process. The course is for 2 years and anybody can join in any month. So there are all seniors and juniors and everybody together in the class. And some of them, they cannot finish within 2 years. They continue a little later on. So they are going through the second cycle of the course going on. So they're saying, last time you gave a different kind of an assignment for awareness. This time on this topic, you're giving us a different one. Because they go by the students. What the teachers then? We want something definite. This definiteness does not allow us to learn. It should be subjective, like I talked about Sandipani, Guru, and the students. Anyway, fear of seeing one's true self. That is very great. In yoga also, we prefer to do asanas, pranayam, etc. Because there is a external thing. You can ask the teacher, am I doing this right? But yama niyama, you have to find out yourself, no, whether you are doing hinsa or not doing hinsa. Niyama, you have to know how much of dirt is there in your mind and how much is not. वो नहीं करना है. That people don't want to do. You're sitting 20 minutes to do meditation. Let everybody else feels that yes, you are in meditation. A smart teacher can make out, That's different. But teacher will say whether you were sitting in meditation or not. We are always waiting for others to remark on us. That does not work. Sankhya is self-awareness. In fact, the one and only technique in Sankhya is awareness, 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 awareness. Mindfulness is everything. And at the gates of the Yoga Institute, you'll find it written, mindfulness is yoga. Sankhya cannot be, will never want to learn yoga with Sankhya or Sankhya with yoga quickly. So we are not able to follow this path. Our purpose becoming materialistic, even this showing off. We are always dependent on others telling us whether this is right. We are not willing to take decision and find out for ourselves our own inner authentic person. That is the reason. Also, people do not come to this study of Sankhya. My preceptor would always use the word otherworldliness. Sorry. So this otherworldliness is what is important for us to be able to progress in Sankhya. Or study Sankhya. Focused on cognitive learning. This is one 10 hours lectures. But
Namaste, Suchitra ji.
oh, 1 minute. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I think my connection got lost for a moment. I'll reshare the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, my connection got lost, I think.
I don't know if it is just me or not, but I think on this particular slide, the voice was breaking up. So once you have good connection, probably would appreciate, if you can probably go roll back last 2 minutes. Suchitra ji, you can continue.
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you are on.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Now I think the voice.
I think my internet connection fluctuated. I think so. Now it's fine. So we move forward. So people are focused on cognitive learning. So academic study of Sankhya, a lot of people will know. Certificate in diploma and degree in Sankhya will be there. But when it comes to practicing the awareness, the least of the awareness of the first concept of Tritapa, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, even that is not there. I will share with you an example of doing that exercise, how it's found very, very difficult to, and it's painful to know that all the pain that I'm suffering is caused by me. That is the awareness that comes, that people share. And a lot of people don't like to know that. And they start arguing because intelligent, no cognitive learning. No, how can I be wanting to hurt my own self? But unfortunately, that's true. I often found myself then telling my students that, yes, I'm sorry. The simplest of the books that I have come across in Sankhya is one Sankhya Catechism published by Kapil Mutt. And even that I found people who are into more of academic either or the physical, the three domains of learning and living, the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. People who are totally into just cognitive domain or just psychomotor domain or both these domains, they cannot find study of Sankhya easy. Those who also have their affective domain integrated. The cognitive is like thinking and knowledge and all that. The psychomotor is all the physical action, behavior, and all that. And the affective is talking of your beliefs and attitudes and patterns of habits and feelings. So these three, only when they are integrated, will you be able to find even this writing making meaning. Another book called Epistles of Sankhya by, again, Kapil Mutt shares the practical aspect of how to look at life from the Sankhya mirror, Sankhya lens rather. And but those exercises, even Kapil Mutt has published a book by the name A Practical Approach to Sankhya. But even that is for a very, very serious students. So I was teaching kind of people who were beginning. So I had to come out with my own book. So I had planned a 4-part series, of which unfortunately, after publishing the first part, the second, third, fourth remains in my computer as draft. But now, Vikas, thank you. I'm going to push that forward and complete that task. But this, okay, I have mentioned the thought, speech, and action here at last, that those who have integration of thought, speech, action, means cognitive, psychomotor, and affective integrated, will be able to start Sankhya study. This new method or novel method of studying Sankhya is to educate yourself at the subconscious level. I am very fortunate to have been an educator as it is, as being a teacher, and always used the experiential method of learning. Yoga Institute in 1986, after completing my course, when Dr. Jaydev asked me, what do you want to do further? I said, yeah, I want to continue to remain associated. So, okay. Then you can join doing something. I said, yes, I would like to separate. What was done with the asana was done difficult. And like that, I remained associated and kept in touch with Dr. Jaydev and did many projects. When the projects on the encyclopedia started, I became part of it as a researcher. And that is when the very which is on subconscious learning. So that is what I learned from Dr. Jaydev, that create a learning situation and let the students grasp and learn by themselves and see whatever they are grasping and learning, and direct them, nudge them by questioning, by giving a little suggestion in relation to their surrounding. When that will happen, the learning will be owned by your students. happens at subconscious level. So the key of this novel method is subconscious learning. And the same can be utilized for yoga effectively. When the inner being actually undergoes a transformation, Sankhya and yoga studies cannot be without you yourself undergoing change. And a teacher of yoga, a teacher of Sankhya can never ever remain static, has to be constantly transforming. Awareness is the way forward for transformation. But let me here reiterate, particularly when we are talking to a lot of novices, we must remember that integration of thought, speech, action, the three upkaranas as also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, they have to be integrated. The cognitive, the thinking, the feeling, and the action. If they are not integrated, learning can keep going haywire, and therefore you constantly need a facilitator, a teacher, a guide to do that, who has to be integrated himself or herself. Very important. So we must keep checking. Okay, our integration may be in process, but we must continue to do that. And reflection on whatever is experienced is what makes learning possible. Awareness, how will it come? Awareness of yourself, no? Mindfulness is defined as watching the mind, in what state it is, when it is changing, and what it is changing to. Okay, so mindfulness is the key to it. So when you are doing that while experiencing, then it is good. But by and large, while we are in the experience, we are so engrossed in it, we are not able to be mindful of it. So initially, reflection is a very good technique to use. In fact, we must all the time keep using both. After the experience, reflect on it and conclude your learning from it, draw your learning from it. Extremely, extremely important. And I have built it into this novel approach, thanks to my preceptor's guidance. Sharing your experience is extremely, extremely important. A lot of people are shy from sharing their experience. It's okay for those, I don't know, in education, there is a way. One is pedagogy is a common word that people know, a method of teaching and learning for children. Then there is another one for adults. There's another one for those who learn on their own. You don't need an external teacher. That's called eudagogy. The eudagogy students will know when they need to reflect and when they need to just be mindful. It will happen for them. But not all of us are very good self-learners, are able to, watch over ourselves, assess that, yes, have I reached here? Have I not reached here? And test it against the Shastra's saying. So that is very, very important. And it requires one to be free from any limiting belief. When you do not have any limiting belief, you are able to see through those limiting beliefs. You can follow this new novel method. One more word about it. The darshana and philosophy. We use these two words interchangeably. Really speaking, they're very different. Sankhya is a darshana. Darshana is seeing, perception. And vrutti nirodha is yoga. Perception stoppage is yoga. So if you're able to see the perception, if you're able to change the perception, only then you are capable of regulating it and stopping it. Whereas in philosophy, it is more armchair philosophy. It's more discussion. It's only intellectual. It need not reflect in your life. Whereas this is a must reflect in your life. So Sankhya, and actually for me, even yoga, should be studied in this manner. The components of this novel approach. Activity, solo activity, pair activity, some written exercises. Now, this is absolutely new for those who are into philosophical study, who may have done their BA, CA in BA or MA in Sankhya, can't be CA in Sankhya. Okay, so written exercises in Sankhya, observing yourself in Sankhya, experiencing, questioning oneself, watching the learning process. Yes, how the learning is happening and assessing their own self. These are excellent and very, very important component of Sankhya. And I can say this in these small words here, that in this lockdown period, I initially thought it won't be possible, but even in my online classes, I have been able to achieve this while teaching Sankhya. So there's no excuse. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I'm a very, very slow learner. And let me give you one example. See, I told you, no, the time is up, but at least one example I'll give. I may have had 3 over here. And this example is taken from my part 1 that is already published, Practical Sankhya. Okay, the first word, those of you who have read Sankhya Karika, you know the first word is Dukkhatraya. Yes, and a lot of people are put off by that only. Okay, why a Shastra that is beginning with something so negative, why to study that kind of? So Dukkhatraya, but those who have got into it, they know that pain and suffering, they are our teachers. And we need to use them to connect with our own self, because that is the one time when we are most closely connected to ourselves. And that is the time we must watch ourselves closely. And if we have our buddhi in its place, in the right power, then you can shift it from any tamasic state to the rajasic and sattvic state. So how I do try and do that when I am, say, talking about the concept in the first Karika, then this is one of the assignment I give. A very simple looking assignment. Yes. That every day, after having to explain Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Devik Dukkha. Adhyatmik is the dukkha that I have caused to myself. Yes, so people initially say, I am very careful. Why should I do anything that will cause me pain? Okay, fine, accept it. Adi Bhautik, it's always the others who cause me pain. So most of our dukkha is classified over there. And Adi Devik, and some of them, yes, like tsunami or not having electricity, somebody else did it for us. I don't know how it happened. So they put that as Adi Devik. Doesn't matter. Whichever way you understand, you classify it, you put down your experience, the dukkha experience, or whichever experience you want to classify as adhyatmic, even if it is not a dukkha, because some people don't like to look at their dukkha. I say, okay, whatever experience, bhoga, and you classify it according to you, where lies the cause. If it is adhyatmic, or is it Adi Bhautik, or it is Adi Dev. Okay. So I give them this homework to do after discussing. So those of you who are teachers will understand that though they will classify it wrongly, doesn't matter. But they are starting where they are. They're getting in touch with themselves. That is what is very vital for subconscious learning to happen. So you have created an environment, a situation for them where they will watch themselves. Now let me tell you what happens next. So after a week or whenever the next class is, then I allow them to share. So obviously 100 people don't and cannot share, but whatever few people who will share, when I ask others that, do you agree with this person's classifying this experience as Adi Devik or Adi Bhautik or Adhyatmik. The others will have a different viewpoint. I said, fine. Now you have a debate and you decide where does it really belong. And in that debate, the real learning happens. Because now they are thinking, why did they say that? And very often, people don't want to blame themselves only because I cannot change myself is their thinking. The other person should change. The outside environment should get adjusted. That table should not be placed over here. It should be placed in a different place. Otherwise, whenever I pass there, I get hurt. You know, every time we want to blame the outside. We don't want to say that I am not careful in walking through that when I know that there is a table placed over there every time. Yes, so that much of resistance to changing oneself also is there, which people become aware of. And the more they become aware, the better they are into yoga. So I ask them then, after that discussion, if they want to change, they can change, and with a good reason. Yes. So when they have reasoned out why they have classified it where, then I ask them, which type of misery do you can, what you can do to avoid this suffering from repeating. Yes. So when they answer these two questions, they realize whatever suggestions they give here that they will do to stop the repeating. Like in the example of the table, they say, I'll move that table away to another place. I said, maybe it's in that another place. It is not coming in your way. It might be coming in somebody else's way. Or maybe someday you will walk that way, so it will come in your way. Yes, so it is possible. And you remain as you are. You do not want to change. You want to remain unalert, unaware. So that is one thing they start changing. Yes, that is true. If transformation has to happen, it has to happen in me. So if I can use this pain, this opportunity for becoming more aware, let me use it. So any such experience starts becoming a yogic experience for them, an awareness experience for them. And another thing that people often say when they want to not repeat, if they are looking at that, is suppression of a particular thought, suppression of a particular behavior. That, okay, next time when I am getting angry, I will, stop myself and try and use a better tone or better words and things like that. But that is my opportunity when I'm able to help them to understand the difference between suppression and sublimation. Not that everyone will get it at that time, but it's an opportunity to start questioning yourself. In fact, I also remember undergoing training and learning from my preceptor. I was fortunate to do a lot of Sankhya learning because of this research work for volume 2 of Cyclopedia published by the Yoga Institute. It is on education, yoga education. And it is based on the bhavas of buddhi. When I actually went through the actual experience of changing from suppressing habit to sublimation habit. In fact, yoga, even the practice of yama niyama, is not about suppression. Hinsa nahi karna. So what all should be done so that hinsa does not occur to you? That is important. And when you are able to remove the root cause, therefore Satkaryavad of Sankhya comes into play. Yes, the effect lies in the cause itself. So you should be able to see it in the cause itself and transform there. And that is sublimation. So suppression is not the way, sublimation is the way. Okay, I won't go to example 2. I've already overshooted the time. So I'll stop sharing.
Madam, we can have some time. And
Yes, I have time.
Yeah, okay.
I have time.
And if you wish, you can share those like.
मेरा तो because 72 karikas हैं और उसमें concepts उससे भी ज़्यादा हैं.
Yeah, sure.
But we are enjoying the different examples, ma'am.
Yeah.
We can have a session separately.
We'll have,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
definitely.
definitely. Yes.
Any
Suchitra
questions,
ji.
you can let me know.
Thank you so much. You know, what you touched upon is what I call
If
is
you
the
want,
tip
I
of the.
can share the link for my book.
Mhm. Sure.
Okay. I'm putting it in the chat. I think this is for the physical book. And there's a Kindle version also of this book. I can share that too. Yes.
Thank you so much, Suchitra ji. You know what
My pleasure.
what you touched upon is not even a tip of the iceberg. Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is
Tip of the tip.
going to, I think lots of people, and I can share, my own experience when I heard you. It is asking so many, so many questions, myself. Okay, right? Sometimes, you go through an emotion, okay, and you don't realize that what you're doing, and that happens.
Yes, that is right.
Okay, absolutely, and that happens. I mean, I'm sharing my own experience. Sometimes we feel that our, life is more or less disciplined. But when you hear, like someone like you, then no, not at all. Life is not yet disciplined, put it that way. But good thing, one, before I forget, what I see, I mean, I have not, frankly speaking, please, accept my ignorance. I have not studied Sankhya, okay? I have not, but, hearing you, I'm in a technical field, right? Okay, and in our day-to-day, we use lots of what we call, we have FMEA, okay, which is failure mode and effect analysis. Okay, that means, I mean, and I am trying to now compare what I heard to, the modern technical world. Probably it will be a great endeavor, to be on this. Then also, on a simpler version, you have like a root cause analysis, that is another one. You have 5 why analysis. Okay, you have, cause and effect analysis, right? So you have lots of those modern, tools and jargons, being used in a very detailed way. And hearing you, I can connect those dots that if it's not just with the external world, I think all those tools, they apply to the inner world as well. And I think they apply more to the inner world than the external world.
Allow me to interrupt. You talked about 5 why. It turns something inside me. I have to say this, and I always share this with my class, that in management, you talk about 5 why. It's 7 why, the concept of Sankhya study. 7 why, after 7 why, you can start study of Sankhya. 5 why doesn't lead you to self.
Okay. Good. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to open, the floor. Anyone has any questions? I have lots of questions, but I should not be the only one. Let others ask as well.
Yes, we also have Dr. Ashwin Masurkar, sir. He is one of our very famous endoscopic surgeon of our country. And I would really welcome him also. That from our healthcare perspective, or considering the kind of stressful lifestyle that especially doctors or the surgeons they undergo, can we have some kind of inputs or application of Sankhya for us? I think we lost the connection with Madam. So,
Was out.
yeah, you're in again.
I'm in again.
Yes. So, yeah, I was trying to ask a question.
Yeah, please.
Putting the gun on his shoulder.
Okay.
So, like especially we have
Please go
doctors,
ahead.
surgeons who are working in a very field which requires a great amount of precision, concentration, and a little bit of here and there is very sensitive, because it's a matter of life and death. So in these kind of, when you are in such kind of professions for decades together, and when you reach your peak of your career, you are aging, and at that point of time, things get very difficult. So can we have Sankhya giving some kind of tips to all these great legends in the field of healthcare, which can help them to balance a bit better?
Yes. The one thing to understand is the three domains: the cognitive, the psychomotor, and the affective. Unfortunately, the awareness is growing that yes, without the mental being worked upon, the physical health does not become all right. Even there are some hospitals where they have either a spiritual center or a yoga center associated. So they are beginning to understand. And there are some hospitals who are very progressive. They're also looking at, their own counseling and psychology department to, complement rather the treatment, and therefore recover better. But they are still very, very few. I think we in the field of yoga should take this up very, very strongly and seriously, that we may continue to teach asana pranayam because that's what the students often come for. But they come for this because we are the ones who make that popular. We as yoga teachers, when we show off, you show me a flyer of any yoga class, even if they are teaching yoga sutras, they will show a picture of some ada teda asana. Why are we doing that? Fine. Because that's what people will identify with. You show that, but show that as small and the other as a larger picture. This is psychological. I don't know how suddenly I'm talking marketing, but it's important. And actually it's rooted in Sankhya. Satkaryavad theory is at work at all times. So you start integrating your thought, speech, action. And Patanjali has given very direct guidelines in Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama. They are like not the first two steps. Of yoga. You practice asana pranayam, you will use कर रहे हैं वो आसन प्राणायाम ही ना. This is the health problem, you do this asana. That is the health problem, you do this pranayam. That there should be along with that, there should be inputs in terms of yama niyama. And why we don't do that? Because we ourselves don't know enough of yama niyama. We only know to tell stories or to put yama niyama in such a large, no, not large, high pedestal, that it seems like impossible to reach. I have heard teachers of yoga, when they give their talks on Yama Niyama, Yoga Sutra says that by the practice of ahimsa, the tiger and the deer can drink at the same lake near each other without feeling any animosity. Now that, and they leave it at that. And they themselves are not believing. सारे टीचर्स को इकट्ठा करके मेरे पास ले आओ, that how they have made this possible. So health may be, we are very impractical. So integration and realism. Sankhya is all realism. So if you are being realistic, you will be able to correct the health problems. So initial stages पे integration, thought, speech, action. और thought के अंदर क्योंकि हम आजकल emotion को अलग से देखने लगे, तो okay, I'll say 4: thought, emotion, speech, and action. And action और speech तो पहले से ही अलग से समझ में आता था लोगों को. Though both of them are psychomotor. तो cognitive में आता है thinking, psychomotor में speech and behavior, action, और affective का feeling domain. Feeling domain के लिए अभी जो आपने पढ़ा कि मैं वृत्ति changing technique करती हूँ, it's a modified EFT, emotional freedom technique, and I help people to practice Yama Niyama by managing, not manipulating, sublimating their affective domain. And it is very, very therapeutic, very, very therapeutic. People who are sick, when they along with that manage their Yama, I don't know, many people I find are not realizing this, that out of the eightfold path, the Yama Niyama are for emotional balance. The Asana Pranayam are for physical balance, physiological balance, the body. And the Pratyahara and Dharana are for mental balance. And then you go transcend beyond the mind to the buddhi level when you are doing meditation and samadhi, the dhyana and samadhi. So these 4 levels have to be understood and integrated. हम सीधा आसन प्राणायाम से यदि डिजीज क्योर करने जाएं तो तुम योगा वाले भी वही कर रहे हो जो बाकी डॉक्टर कर रहे हैं. What are you doing different? At least people who are looking at preventive health care through yoga, they must pay attention to integration. Without integration, it's not lasting. It is always in Ayurveda also. There's an aim and purpose कि life को कैसे लंबा जिया जाए. अरे लंबा लाइफ लेके करोगे क्या यदि तुम इंटीग्रेटेड नहीं हो. So first be integrated, then the good long life you can make good use of. नहीं तो हम अभी भी हमारे कितना हम अवेयरनेस यूज कर रहे हैं. Hardly anything. Einstein, when he died, his permission was taken in advance. The science called phrenology, where they study the brain. So his brain was studied. His skull was open up and his brain was studied to be how active it is. He was found to be using only 10% of his brain. How much of our brain we are using then? We're probably not even using 1 or 2% of our brain. So it has got so much capacity. We can make use of it.
Hello, namaste. Are we there?
Hello.
Suchitra ji, can you hear us?
You were not able to hear me, I think. I can see for some time you all are frozen.
Okay. Good. We are back.
Yes, yes,
Any-
I'm able to hear you.
Okay. Anyone, anyone has any question for Suchitra ji? Suchitra ji, I have one. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, but your sentence is coming broken.
Ah, okay. So we heard from you about, those three faculties which one should have. I think, cognitive faculty, psychomotor, and then, the effective.
Effective.
Then also you touched upon, the integration of body, mind, right? Right. And thoughts, right? Now, the question comes, I mean, I'm sharing, because we use that, often in day-to-day life, right? You have, let's say a rat died in your home, okay, right? Mouse. And there is a foul smell coming. And, you go and, apply the fragrant, okay, right? And then say, yes, the problem is taken care of. So do we use the same analogy that, before you jump to asana and pranayam, okay, basically, more or less, you are applying the fragrant, but not going to the root cause and trying to find out that why that foul smell is coming.
Thank you so much.
Did I understand that right?
Perfect. You got my point perfectly. Thank you.
So, Suchitra madam, I feel we have to have multiple sessions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I will be very, very happy. And do connect. Sankhya is something very dear to me. Not only dear to me, it is my prayer, my return to my Guru. Guru ऋण चुकाना होता है मुझे. तो कोई सांख्य के ऊपर बात करने के लिए कहे तो मैं कभी मना नहीं कर सकती. So please always welcome anytime for whatever group you want, because thank you for giving me this opportunity. थोड़ा सा मेरा गुरु ऋण कम कर सकी मैं.
So on behalf of all our family members, we would I would encourage everyone to unmute, and we would like on this, in this digital world, this is a virtual felicitation.
Wow, this is so beautifully done. Thank you, Vikas. Very nice of you, very kind of you.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Over to Bankim ji.
We have International Women's Day coming up, Swasti Yoga Center. So please don't forget to register. It's on 8th of March. It's going to be an online session, Zoom session from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. IST. So again, those who can or should join.
Wow, thank you. That's a nice idea.
Mm-hmm. And next weekend, we have Pooja Ji Bafna,
Okay.
and
So
some
suitable.
name. Yes, very familiar name. Yeah, she is going to present on tips to improve woman health through yoga. That is going to be next Saturday. And after that, we have Dr. Ashwin Masurkar. Is going to present. Wow, wonderful. A surgeon's acquaintance with yoga and importance for medical community. It's going to be an interesting session. We'll look forward to hearing from you, Dr. Ashwin. That is going to be Sunday, 13th of March, 6 p.m. IST. And thank you, Suchitra ji, and thank you all for
so
joining. It has been a wonderful session, and I think from on behalf of Swasti Yoga Center, we will assure you, we assure you that we will, we will what you call take this journey of Sankhya a little further as much as we can. So thank you so
Thank you.
much. So shall we, end this
Yes.
session with
Yes.
finishing prayer?
Yes.
Vikas ji?
Yes, we can end with the prayer.
Okay. Join your palms. Om Dyau Shanti Antariksha Ghum Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapaha Shanti Roshadhayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shantirvishve Devaha Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvadhvam Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms. Feel the warmth. Open your eyes in the darkness. Feel the warmth all over. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Bye-bye. Dhanyawad.